some whores in this house.
Whores?
There's some whores in this house.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to
Freak. Sorry.
welcome back to the Pink Flag Podcast. My name is Emma.
I'm Lindsay.
And yeah.
This is the
This
Pink
is it.
Flag.
This is it.
We both
We're back
went,
again.
And
I don't know where I was going with that.
Me neither.
But we're running with it. And this is season 2. Is this officially episode?
We are officially into our second season. This is the second episode of our second season.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you guys so much who have followed along with us thus far.
Yeah, this has been a fun journey. And I feel like we're learning as it goes. And the quality's getting better as it goes.
Oh, yeah.
And we're just so excited to be able to give you guys some good quality video and audio and content, dude.
Yeah.
And content. Yeah, just it's been slapping. So, and thank you guys so much for commenting on everything that we post as well. Like, just the feedback we get is amazing.
Yeah.
And we say this every episode, but we're sappy. We appreciate everybody. So,
Little happy tear.
this is a happy tear. But okay.
All right, so now to get into the toxicness of our episode.
Yeah, so the drink of the week, which I came up with because it was so very convenient, but Lindsay came up with the name of it, actually.
It's the foreign exchange student.
Yeah, it's called the Foreign Exchange Student, and what is in it, it's a twist on a White Russian. It's just a White Russian, dude. So there's Tito's, Kahlua, and we both...
And the leftover of our iced coffees.
So we both can't have dairy. So we both get almond milk in our coffee. Mm-hmm. And mine was a latte, so the majority of it was almond milk. So I just used the leftover of my coffee, which Kahlua is already a coffee liqueur.
It's a coffee liqueur.
So it goes really well together. It slaps. I mean...
It's tasty.
We've been working so hard on setting up this... Choking. Choking.
I didn't think you got to capture it well enough.
So if y'all were here last episode, I am the expert. Lindsay just can't handle it.
Oh, God. I choked. There it goes. That's the satisfying sound that I hate so much.
The trick is using your tongue to block the liquid so it doesn't slap the back
So it
of your
doesn't
throat like that.
go into your lungs? 'Cause
Yeah.
I just inhaled some coffee.
Oh, that's okay. But yeah.
What if it gets into my system faster if it goes through my lungs?
Just snort it.
I'm just going to start doing lines of coffee in the morning.
Just White Russians.
Let's go, baby.
Ooh, okay. So, yeah, we've been working on this setup the past, hour, so all of our ice is completely melted.
Yeah.
So, it's still cold, though. It's still cold. So.
It is what it is. But this is the foreign exchange student after a guy I very briefly dated in college who I thought was really fun. I was like, ooh, he's foreign. He's going to be so exciting.
Yeah.
He did not speak English well enough for us to have a great conversation. He was the strong silent type, which I appreciated until I realized that he's just looking at me with no comprehension of what I'm saying.
He's just sitting there like a cutie, just
Yeah. Yeah,
whatever you say, honey.
He's just sitting there smiling the whole time, and I'm just like, why am I even here? He knew just enough English to ask me out on a date, and not enough to carry on a conversation.
So, can you answer this? Are they good in bed?
Oh, I don't.
You didn't. Okay.
No,
I didn't know if y'all dated.
No,
okay.
we by dated. I went on a date with him, and then I realized that there was no conversation there, so that was
darn.
The end of that
yeah, and I
conversation.
also. I just want to date a foreign man. That's just on my bucket list.
There's such an appeal behind it. I don't know why, but I know.
They hold different morals and values where they're from, and I feel like
depending on where they're from.
Exactly.
I think England and Australia are probably the ones that I would want to date because of those sexy accents.
Now, I don't know if I could handle an Australian accent.
Mate.
I could not handle an Australian accent, dude. In bed,
I just want to marry
might.
Crocodile Dundee.
It's the accent. It's the Australian accent for me.
I grew up watching
if you said
Steve
mate,
Irwin.
I would literally, because they would probably say mate so much, right?
I don't know.
Because if he kept saying it,
I don't know if that's one
Dude, it
of
would
those
piss me off.
stereotypes that we think they say a lot that they don't actually say that much. Hey, if anyone listens to our podcast and they're Australian, let us know.
yeah, let us know. Do y'all say mate so much?
Do you
We say
mate super
y'all.
often?
Do you say mate like we say y'all? Dude, don't call me your mate.
I don't use the y'all that often. I mainly do it as like a.
I do because I'm from the north, and I feel like I'm trying to really get into my southern vibe down here.
You're trying to embrace that southern.
Yeah, but I also think it's just quicker to say.
So I'm super excited for our plans tonight.
Yeah. We have a little girls' night going on tonight, which is going to be very, very different than most girls' nights that I've had.
So I know you have a little video on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's blowing up.
Yeah. Today, y'all will see this a week after we film, but,
Y'all.
Damn. But I posted a TikTok yesterday kind of clipping a little bit of our collab that we had with Millionaire in the Making, Justin and Gage, and Coco was on it as well, and, you know, Jesse the inspiration. And it blew up. Currently, it's at like 60K, so we'll check in a week and see what it's at. But while it's blowing up, I posted the full clip on YouTube. So it kind of discusses, and I'll just make this very, very brief, but it discusses girls' nights out while in a relationship, and you get a man's point of view and our women's point of view as well.
Basically, do you think it's toxic or non-toxic?
Yep, and this is to go to the club necessarily. Yeah. So this is why I think this weekend we're taking a little breather and just kind of a little night for the girls.
Well, and it's the first full moon of the year.
Yeah, so we do a little manifesting. Yeah, dude, I'm so excited for it.
It's one of the first weeks of the year, so we're all going to sit down and talk about our New Year's resolutions. We're going to make little vision boards.
Is it a full moon tonight?
It is. Tonight is the peak of the full moon.
So we're going to go sit on the pier, make some moon water.
Naked.
Dude, no, this is something I do, and I love it so much. I'm going to talk about it super, super quick because I'm so passionate about it. You put some water out at night during the full moon, and it's supposed to like bless it, and then you drink it and you manifest while you're drinking it, and it's moon water. It's supposed to be so good.
Interesting.
So I am gonna be a super freak and do that tonight. I'm sure down. Shelby will be all over it.
Can I put some smart water out there and let the moon bless it?
If you want some alkaline balanced water to be blessed by the moon, I am all for it.
Yay.
And I fully support it. So
maybe it'll actually make me smarter.
So yeah,
I know we hear this from different people. I don't necessarily think that girls' nights out at a bar or a club are toxic, but that's coming from me and the people I surround myself with. I don't really surround myself with the types of girls that are going to be doing poor behavior if they're in a relationship.
Yeah.
Out at the club. So, I mean,
we are an exception to the rule, I would say, in those cases.
Well, I would think it's all about knowing your mate, knowing your partner. So, like, if your girlfriend is hanging out with the girls that are doing some of that maybe behavior that you wouldn't want your girlfriend doing in the bar, that would kind of be, like, a red flag to me.
Sure.
Like, if your girlfriend has all of the single girlfriends who are sleeping around and they're just doing their crazy stuff. Exactly. And there's not to say that there's anything wrong with that. If that's the phase of their life that they want to be in, you do your thing, girl. But
it's not going to make your man comfortable you being around that behavior and what's going on. Because he doesn't want to put yourself in a position to be hit on, to be drugged, to be... Now, that this is my opinion. But, again, we all go over it in the video on YouTube, so... We've all already discussed this. It gets into a pretty heated discussion. But, yeah. Anyway, so tonight, for our girls' night, we're going to be doing some more, like, manifesting. We're just going to have a sober night. In with our girlfriends, watch movies, cuddle. Get some pizza because it's cheat night.
It's just some girl time. I think it's good, wholesome, fun girl time. You know, we can probably talk boys, we can talk shop.
Yeah, and it's super important too for those kind of nights to do it with the girls you are closest with.
Yes.
And so you can be more intimate because it's supposed to be kind of an emotional awakening kind of thing. Like you get to appreciate the women you've had around you.
You're not going to share, you know, your secrets and vulnerabilities and things that you obviously don't want to tell everybody. You're not going to want to share that with just anyone. So I think it is important to have regular time with just your close female friends. And I'm not saying it has to be like once a week, but I know that we try to have like once a month at least where we all get together. And the past couple of months with the holidays and everything have been busy. So this is our first girls' night that we've had in a few months. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Honestly, it's like our first girls' night where we've really cut out. You know, like we're cutting out alcohol. We're not having the guys around. And we get the whole house to ourselves. Yeah, so we're going to be on some shit, some sober shit. But we're going to be
on some girl time. So we wanted to talk to you guys about just a couple of ideas that, you know, maybe you could use for like a girls' night. And that's not necessarily going out to the bars.
Yes.
Because for those of you girls out there who are single and you have those friends that are in a relationship, a lot of girls when they're in a happy relationship may not feel comfortable going out to the bar. They may not want to. So I think it's important still to cultivate and nurture those female relationships.
I agree.
So how do we do that? Well, there's a lot of different things. You can do what we're doing tonight, which is a just good old-fashioned sleepover.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with incorporating alcohol in these nights whatsoever.
No.
Like one of my favorite things to do, and we should do this more often.
Go to the wine bar.
Yes, that or get dinner. Get like a really nice dinner.
Yeah.
Y'all dress up. You feel pretty. You feel confident. You look like a badass hot group. And then you get some dinner, some cocktails, and then you go on like a wine tour or even wine tour during the day, whatever. But dinner and cocktails, like nice cocktails, not going to the bar after dinner is like my favorite thing to do.
I know we live on the beach, so we're so fortunate that we can have like girls' days on the beaches. I know I've done that with my girlfriends a couple of times, but if you don't live on a beach, I know my friends in college and I used to do this all the time. We'd go on like hikes.
Yeah, go on nature walks.
Like nature walks. Because I went to school in Florida, so we didn't have mountains, but we would just do like nature hikes through the state park. We'd find like some sort of hiking destination.
Yeah.
So I think anything you do like that, the whole sleepover, you could do putt-putt golf, you could go see a movie. There's so many different things you can do with your girlfriends that don't involve the club and hitting on men or getting hit on by men.
So, yeah, that's our little tip for you.
Tip and trick.
But do we want to move on to our little Google search idea? You want to explain where we got that?
Yeah. So one of our listeners kind of gave us this idea, which we wanted to like kind of talk about our toxic topic, but this seemed like such a fun thing. And then as I was looking it up, some of the things that popped up were great and like super toxic. So we're going to pull these up. But basically what the listener suggested was we go onto Google and we type in how to ... and then see what pops up kind of for like our, genre, what we normally talk about for our podcast. So of course I did how to get my boyfriend and then how to get my girlfriend.
Yeah, and see what Google.
And then we'll see the first things that pop up. Cool. So first, should we start with a boyfriend or the girlfriend?
It doesn't matter. Let's do boyfriend.
All right. So I typed in how to get my boyfriend in the Google search, and the first one is how to get my boyfriend back.
So I feel like that one needs a little more context.
I'm sure it's like boyfriend broke up, they broke up, and she's trying to get back with him. I think breakups happen for a reason.
Yeah. So, I think, yeah, and I feel like you shouldn't force anything in any relationship, and if it does break off, let universe like naturally bring you guys back together.
Well, and I think something that would be important is why did you break up?
Yeah, look into that and maybe work, like if it was something on your end, work on that, and then just maybe work on communicating more. Like, honestly, I just feel like communication is lacked in relationships.
Communication is key.
Just talk to him. Like, just shoot him a text or whatever. Call him. We're adults. You know what I mean? Like, I think people like to play games way too much now.
Yeah, don't do the I miss you text.
Or just don't do the hey at 2 a.m. and then don't respond when he like that. Those games are up. Those games are so stupid and so childish.
What's the WID? What you doing?
Yeah, what I would do personally is just shoot him a text and just be like, hey, when do you have time for a phone call? And then get on the phone with him. No, don't text about it because
I'd like to talk. Can we get coffee?
Yeah, or something, whatever you can do to get him face to face or just talking instead of text, because text can be misconstrued very easily. So start with that.
Next one, how to get my boyfriend to love me again. What I know about guys and girls, typically when that love fades, I know for me, that doesn't come back.
Now, I think it can come back depending on why it faded. So let's say maybe you weren't taking care of yourself anymore, or you started to like lose yourself mentally, lose yourself physically. If you start working on yourself physically, honestly, once you bounce back, you may not even want him back. You know what I mean? Because I've done that thing where I was like, okay, I lost myself in a relationship a little bit, got back in the gym afterwards, like made myself look great. I felt great mentally. And he naturally came back because, once you start working on yourself, you attract a lot.
I can also say, I know as females, a lot of us are really guilty of this, of the like intrusive thoughts and letting those intrusive thoughts win. Yes. So first and foremost, are you and your boyfriend broken up? Because if so, see our advice before. But if you guys are not broken up and you're together, is this one of those situations where you're feeling like your partner doesn't love you anymore?
Right.
Because if that's the case, I think it's really good to talk about those kinds of things with your partner. I think one of the best things you can do when you're in an adult relationship is communicate what your needs are to your partner. And don't be afraid to do that. The worst thing that can happen is your partner can tell you, no, I'm not willing to do that. And then you can,
in that case, you don't want that person.
Extract yourself out of that situation. So, how to get my boyfriend to propose.
See, I feel like I have a very strong view on this, and I don't know why, because I've never been proposed to. But if he, again, it's a thing. If like he wanted to, he would.
If he wanted to,
he would.
And
if you're waiting years, some people wait a decade to get proposed to. Dude, at what point are you going to pull the trigger? Because I know, and it depends what age you're at also, because I'm an advocate for...
I mean, if you're 22...
I'm an advocate for men putting their head down and working to become providers and be fulfilled in their career before proposing, before getting into a really deep relationship. So it depends what age you're at, but if he's not proposing to you in the first, like, you got 5-7 years on him sometimes, I feel like there's a lot of things y'all need to talk about. Well, and maybe your values don't align. Maybe like people look at a lot of values in heavily, like religion, like financial decisions on children. So I think it just depends on that.
I would say, so this is part of the reason why I have I don't want to say strict rules that I have, but the rules that I have in regards to a relationship. I try really hard not to give those wife benefits, all of them. Yeah. Like, I'm not moving in with a guy if we're not engaged. I'm not doing all of those things, because I really think once you move in with one another, that's where you start giving up all of those wifely benefits without the guy really having to necessarily provide and put that. Well, he's not having to put on that husband hat, right? He's getting all the benefits of that. And I feel like men get comfortable.
But is the husband hat always just the ring? Like, 'cause I feel like if he's providing for you financially, like if he's paying the bills, if he's taking care of you.
There's a lot more that goes into it than just that. So the husband hat, like, having that title is more than just having a title. It's having the knowledge that if something bad happens to your husband and you own a house together, you don't have to worry about his family coming after your house or your possessions, right?
Sure.
For the life that you're building together, as a man, you should be wanting to make sure that that woman is as safe and secure and stable as possible.
Yeah.
Now, if you guys have an apartment together, that's one thing. But
right.
I'm kind of, once you get past that apartment living stage of your life or whatever, I think it's important as females that we keep some of that back, because you have to give the man the desire and the want and the freedom to put the ring on it, right? Yeah, when you live with each other, when you're around him 24/7, you need to give each other the opportunity to miss each other sometimes. Like, I think those partners that are so codependent that they're just stuck like glue to each other 24/7, that's unhealthy.
Yeah, I also feel like, and this is where the apartment living / house situation that you mentioned could be very different, but I think you should live with your partner before you decide if they're going to be a life partner, simply because you don't really know somebody until you live with them.
Oh, I think once you get engaged, you move in together. But I'm not.
Yeah, see, I rather have experience living with a guy, like, whether I don't need to be on the lease, but I'm saying, like, if I move in or if I'm there, like, for a month on end, like, I will make sure I'm there for a long period of time to be able to experience, does he clean up after himself? Does he take care of
but I feel like you often? Like, after a while, you can glean that kind of stuff. How does he act
when I'm in his space for so long? Because you're going to be together for a long time, man. So
true.
So you need to know how
I also am kind of because of where I am in my life, you've got about a year of, like, dating before you need to make those thoughts and those intentions clear on moving forward. So I also don't think, I'm in my 30s, so I don't want to be dating someone for 5 years before we get engaged, right?
Yep. And those are those boundaries that you'll set too, or those, like, guidelines,
correct,
or I guess expectations you'll set going forward on what you're looking for too. But yeah, it totally depends on the time of life because like I said, a man's not going to be fulfilled enough in his early 20s, mid 20s to be confident enough in proposing.
Not always, but
not always.
Usually.
Not always, but.
Next one.
Okay.
How to get my boyfriend to pay attention to me.
Depends what he's doing when he's not paying attention to you.
Take your clothes off.
Take your clothes off. Yeah, that's a good one.
You want his undivided attention? Be naked.
Nag the shit out of him. No, just kidding.
Yell. Raise your voice.
I mean,
3 octaves above a polite conversation. That's the volume we want to use.
Yeah, unfortunately, the nakedness is just how a man's primal brain works. That would just work. You know, it doesn't work on us because we have different priorities and different brains. But yeah, that would really work for a man next.
How to get my boyfriend to love me. That's one of those things
Didn't we just talk
either
about that?
Happens or it doesn't happen. It's how to love me again.
Oh, how to love you.
Yeah, I think
be
if
yourself and the right
would.
one. Yeah, be yourself and the right one will just love you the way you want to be.
How to get my boyfriend to stop snoring. Okay, so ladies, if your boyfriend is a snorer, it's a really quick, easy trick. So while he's snoring, you roll him onto his back, you take a pillow, and you place it gently over his face, and then you hold it there until he stops snoring.
Dude, dead ass, I've done this before. Not that. But when my man was snoring, I would literally just plug his nose because I would get so pissed off. Like, because I'm such a light sleeper, I would plug his nose and he would go, and he would like snore himself awake. And then I'll be like, oh, back to sleep. Like, I would pretend like I didn't do that. And he'd be like, what happened? And then he would turn on his side, then he would stop. But that's a good tip, too.
I think a not toxic tip would be trying to get them to roll over onto their side. I think most.
Just wake him, get him a fucking machine, you old man.
Strips. You can get some earplugs.
He probably needs a nose job. He probably has a deviated septum.
Maybe. How to get my boyfriend to break up with me.
Cheat on him.
Oof.
If you don't have any morals.
This is the toxic. If you want to break up with your boyfriend, break up with your boyfriend. Why are we still living in the day and age? Get your best friend to call him and tell him you don't want to be with him anymore because that's some second grade bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, totally joking about the cheating thing. Don't do that. Be an adult. Have a conversation.
Yeah.
Communicate.
Let's be adults. How to get my boyfriend to be more romantic.
Ooh. So I think this is not so toxic. I actually really like this one.
This is a good question.
Yeah, because again, if he doesn't know your love language, he's also not going to be able to know how to be romantic towards you or what you would like. So let's say you like gift giving. He won't be able to or he wouldn't know unless you told him that you like gift giving. So he couldn't bring you flowers, chocolate, whatever, wine, or quality time. Like he wouldn't take you to dinner. I think knowing the person's love language is super important.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, that'll give you your answer, in my opinion. But.
So, yeah, I think one, you need to look at what you're doing for your partner. So, are all of his love languages being filled? Are you doing your part? If the answer is yes, and he's not, then I think you need to have an adult conversation. Hey, do you mind if we sit down and have a talk? I would love it if you could be a little more romantic, but then give him
more thoughtful.
Give him some ideas.
Don't just attack
Men
him.
are not mind readers. So first and foremost, don't be passive aggressive. Don't be toxic. Don't just be mad. Don't start, sitting around pouting. Oh, what's wrong? Nothing. That is the worst possible thing ever. Mm-hmm. Have an adult conversation with your partner and say, hey, I would love it if you could do X, Y, or Z. Mm-hmm. I think that would really make me feel more like you're being romantic and I'm being pursued and I'm being chased.
Or maybe make it your idea.
And then I am a big, big, big fan. And I know we've talked about this before. Men like to be helpers. Mm-hmm. They like to get the attaboys. They like to get the praise and the kudos. When he does those romantic things, make a big deal about it.
Yes, that is, dude, step one. Make a huge deal about the stuff that he does do.
Yeah.
But then also, like I was saying, you can kind of make it your idea. It's like, hey, I think we should go out to dinner tonight or something. I think we should do this, and kind of plant it a little bit in his brain that you want to go out more, that you want to go do this, and that. Bring up new ideas. Like, yeah, we should go putt-putting today.
And then as he does these things, make a huge deal
Praise
about
him,
it.
you know, in every aspect.
Have him open a jar for you. Have him do something for you. And then, oh my gosh, honey, what would I do without you?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You're amazing.
We always say here that men have a crazy praise kink.
Yeah.
They're going to say they don't or whatever because it makes them look whatever. But they do. They love the praise.
Feel that praise kink.
Yes.
All of it. All of it. All of it. How to get my boyfriend to trust me. Don't cheat on him.
Yeah, so let's say you did cheat on him or something. One, he has to give you the opportunity to prove to him that that's not going to happen anymore, to trust you again. So I think, just doing what you have to do to just don't cheat on him anymore. If he needs extra validation, give it to him. Spend more time with him.
I think in the situation like you mentioned where if you cheat, if you step out of line, if you do something wrong, you have to understand and accept that your partner's trust in you is going to be shaken and broken.
Yep.
And you are going to be starting probably not even just at the bottom, but you're going to be starting from a deficit, right? Yeah. You're going to be starting from an area of complete lack of trust. You have to be willing to put in the work,
and you need to be patient with him. You need, like that's where that understanding comes from. You need to be very patient with him as y'all go through it, because he's gonna maybe be wary of you going out for a while, or no matter what, like whatever the circumstance was. He's gonna be wary of you doing that anymore. You got to step aside and be like, okay, not that your freedom is taken away to make those choices, but you need to put his feelings into consideration. That's how you're going to build a trust back.
But I want to talk on the flip side of that. So if you're with a person who has done something to break your trust and you've chosen to forgive that person and move past that, I think it's also important for the other partner to be putting in the work to do what needs to be done to heal and to move past that. So if that's
not to hold it against them.
If that's taking a breather from the relationship for a little while and taking some time to think things through and to focus on yourself, if that's setting, you need to set very clear, healthy boundaries. I don't think that a healthy boundary is going through your partner's phone. I don't think a healthy boundary is having...
If you're going to choose
your thumb on top of your partner 24/7, because if you're choosing to stay with that person, you have to give them the ability to regain that trust.
Absolutely.
I think that's really important.
Or if that's just honestly, if they, let's say they need like your location or something to feel a little better. I personally wouldn't have a problem giving my partner my location so that they could trust me more.
It's all about setting what works. Those boundaries.
It's all about what works for you guys.
I think it's about having a conversation to say, okay, so I would like to move forward in this relationship. This is what I'm going to need to move forward. And your partner's either going to be willing to do that or they're not going to be willing to do that.
Exactly.
So
it's all about communication.
So now we're going to switch to the how to get my girlfriends.
Okay, guys, this is for you.
How to get my girlfriend back. You don't deserve her.
Man, communicate. I don't know. Don't
Again,
stalk her.
What did you do?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, should we pick a scenario and go off of it?
Well, I mean, we can probably pick the most common scenarios,
right? The cheating or whatever?
Yeah, did you cheat on her? If you cheated on her and she broke up with you, she's probably not going to want to take you back.
Don't project. I feel like, with my experience with a lot of men, I feel like they like to project blame as well. So, like, and this is a very toxic thing. I'm saying if you really love this girl and you're trying to get her back, you won't do that. But I know when I've been cheated on, I ignored the shit out of the guy. Like, I just ghosted him. Like, that's it. Last straw. Like, I don't condone, like, I don't, whatever.
Yep.
And he would stalk my social medias. He would passive aggressively message me, like, if I was out, saying, oh, you're going to go hook up with someone now? Like, kind of thing.
What I do is no longer your concern.
Exactly. I owe you absolutely nothing. If anything, you should be embarrassed. So don't do that.
Well, and I would say if maybe your girlfriend ended things with you for a more reasonable... I mean, if you cheated and she broke up with you, you're probably not going to get her back. And honestly, you don't deserve her if you cheated on her. Like, no.
And vice versa for the guys. Like, if she cheats on you.
So If, however, it was something like she wasn't getting the attention she wanted from you, if you weren't doing those things anymore, if you let yourself go, she's not attracted to you anymore. There's a lot of scenarios. I know as a female, I can feel hesitant, and it's something I've learned really in the past couple of years when I end things with someone, even if we're just talking before we're like exclusively dating. When I end things, I try to let people know why and give them like a clear, concise reason.
Your partner, yeah.
Or ex-partner, just,
sure.
you know, someone I went on 3 or 4 dates with. If I'm not feeling it, I'm going to tell them, hey,
yep.
I think you're a great person. I'm not really feeling it.
Right.
If I end things with a partner, I usually will give reasons why.
Mm-hmm.
So
listen to those reasons.
If it's things that you could easily change, I think something that would be good would be to take, you know, a month maybe to work on yourself, get in therapy, do the things that you need to do to show that you're trying to make changes, and then you can reach out to her. Hey, would you mind if we grab coffee?
Yeah, and then you can talk to her about how you've worked on yourself, and that'll actually give you some more credibility too. She'll be like, okay, I can believe you because you put in some of the work to fix those things.
Have you been in therapy? Talk to her about, you know.
Have you stopped drinking? No matter what the scenario is.
Do you stop hanging out with those friends? Did you delete your Instagram account? So this is something that I wanted to talk about. So did you know that out of the over 50% divorce rate that we have in this country, over half of the divorce filings mention a social media application?
I saw that.
They mention Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. So, and the amount of people that don't think flirting on social media counts as cheating is ridiculous to me.
Yeah. Just because it's not face-to-face, just because it's not physical, doesn't mean, and it's even worse. I feel like it's even worse when, and this is going to maybe ruffle some feathers, but I think it's even worse when women do it because there's more of an emotional disconnect with her current relationship. Now with men could flirt with literally anything, right? Because I feel like there's no emotional connection to it. So when women flirt, it hurts men more because it's like, I can do this because it's biologically in my brain, I want to have sex with this, and I want to breed with that, whatever. But for her, she's like she's not feeling fulfilled, feeling protected, feeling like provided for with me. So now she's looking for it from somebody else. So it's kind of like a different, that's just my little thing that like stuck out to me in my brain.
There's an interesting thing that I read at one point in time that was saying men are more likely to forgive an emotional cheat, like an emotional adultery, and women are less likely to forgive the emotional. So men are more likely to forgive their wife if she fell in love with someone and had an emotional relationship with them, but not sexual.
Yes, because men see sex as something that
and women are the opposite. Yeah. So as a woman, if you have sex with someone else, your husband is going to be like, what the fuck? You had sex with that person. Yep. Whereas with a woman, you know, most of the time it hurts more if the person was like, because one of the relationships I was in where my partner cheated, later we had a conversation about it, and he was like, I was in love with this woman. Like, I cared about her. I had been in love with her since before you and I had met. That hurt me so much more than you just fucking her. Than if he would have just had sex with some random woman. To find out that there was like love involved, I'm like, oh, you're the worst kind of person.
Yep. No, men are more sexually driven and women are more emotionally driven. So yeah, I can see that definitely makes sense. But next.
So the next one is how to get my girlfriend to love me again.
I think just same thing.
Again. Do the things that you used to do when she loved you.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the things. Men get comfortable and complacent so quickly in relationships, and they'll stop doing those things that makes their partner feel loved and appreciated and wanted and desirable.
Sure.
Figure out what those things are and go back to doing them.
Oh, no.
How to get my girlfriend to lose weight.
So.
Do not.
There's nothing
like
wrong.
the hot girls on Instagram.
Yeah. Don't direct your attention to someone hotter than her or anything and be like, hey, look at her. Doesn't she look great?
Look at this girl's ass. Yours used to look like this.
Yeah,
what happened?
Yeah, don't do that. I don't think it's wrong for a man to want his woman to work on herself physically. There's nothing wrong with that because when y'all got together, you were physically fit, right? You looked good.
I've had this quote unquote joke in the last couple of relationships I've been in, but we have like a weight clause in our, I mean, not that we have like a relationship contract, I'm not Sheldon Cooper, right?
Yeah.
But like there's an unspoken agreement that within like 5% of your body weight of what you were when you got together, you should stay that weight.
And that is a lot to fluctuate, I will say. 5% body weight is the difference between basically, obese and normal.
For like me, it would be, 8 pounds, but on my frame, that'd be a lot.
Sure, yeah.
For a guy who's 200 pounds, that's 10 pounds. That's still a decent bit. So yeah, there's like,
right, if not more.
You get like a 5% fluctuation, but if your partner falls in love with you when you look a certain way, love is not blind.
No.
People are attracted to who and what they're attracted to. And I've heard I hear this from guys probably more than girls, because I feel like a lot of times girls are a little more forgiving about the guy getting a little bit soft.
Absolutely.
But I hear so many guys just saying, I love my girlfriend. I love my wife. I've been with her for a long time, but I'm not attracted to her physically anymore.
Yeah, and it really sucks, but it does come down to, and the reason I think women are okay with their men gaining like some weight, maybe even over that 5%, is because if he's still providing, if he's still able to protect you, if he's still doing like his role in your relationship, not a problem. But a lot of, and this is going to sound really bad, but I feel like in a lot of high value relationships and a lot of high value individuals in those relationships, women's value is more than often held in her appearance. So, because a high value man, like, he has a woman on his side to make him look good. It's a part of his status. Mm-hmm. So if you don't kind of follow that status a little bit, like, it's just one of those things that can't waver too much, like a man's weight. You gotta
keep with the status quo.
You gotta keep with it, and it's gonna suck, but it'll make you feel better. It'll make your relationship better. Why not work on yourself physically?
So I think as a guy, if you notice your girlfriend starting to get kind of heavy, I don't think there's a problem with having a conversation and saying, hey, I would like to get back into the gym. Do you want to join the gym with me? Hey, I would like to train for a marathon. Hey, I would like to do something that's going to require like physical.
Yes.
Do not do petty stuff. Like I've heard, don't get her clothes that are too small for her.
No. Oh my God, no. And she's going to be she's going to read into that so much too.
Most women are aware, right?
She's going to be very aware of that, but also just be kind to her feelings. And women don't overreact to stuff like that.
I think if you do it in a, hey, we kind of way.
Yeah, that's usually better.
Like, hey, we should, watch what we're eating. We should go on a diet. We should join the gym. We should do this. I think then you can also be her accountability buddy.
And you're not shaming her whatsoever in that way.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. But doing things like getting her exercise equipment for Christmas, getting her clothes that are too small, getting her a gym membership for Christmas if she didn't ask for it. Those are kind of the things that are probably a little bit more toxic. How to get my girlfriend to break up with me. Get your best friend to call her best friend and have them tell your boyfriend or girlfriend that you don't want to be with her anymore. Because, again, that's just second-rate bullshit.
Just a triangle of communication.
Just make it the most complicated, convoluted thing ever. If you're going to be that immature.
Send her a DM.
Start trying to suckle on her tit. I don't know. If you're going to be a baby. Mm-hmm. Be an adult. Be a man.
Yeah.
How to get my girlfriend to kiss me.
Brush your teeth. You probably have bad breath.
Brush your teeth.
You probably have bad breath if she's not kissing you. Why would she not kiss you?
Are you a sloppy kisser? Ooh.
Okay.
Bad kissers.
We both had that. You had to.
Bad kissers are the worst thing ever.
See, you got to do a lot to be a bad kisser with me. And the one thing that I will put you in that category is if you are sloppy. If you are too much saliva.
I do not like sloppy.
I'd rather it be dry as fuck. Crusty as hell. Before you be slobbering all over my face. Because I got makeup on. You smearing that shit?
I don't like the sloppy, messy. The dudes that... Oh, God. This is great. So, I think I've mentioned I was, like, very conservative growing up. So, I think I had my first kiss when I was, like, 16. Maybe even 17. and it was with a guy. It was like the first, like, quote unquote date I had gone on. And one of the only dates I actually went on when I was in high school, because this scarred me so terribly. So we went to like the movies or something. He brought me back to my house and he went to give me a kiss goodbye. And this boy, it's a boy because we're like teenagers.
Yeah.
I went to like go in for the kiss. And as soon as his lips touched mine, he went with his entire tongue. Like
just lizard you.
It tickled my uvula. Like the dangly thing that sticks in the back of my throat. No, don't ever touch that with your tongue. So he like,
I would have thrown up.
He stuck his tongue full on in my mouth, and I went
as you should, queen.
In his face.
As you should,
and
queen.
he was like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, what's wrong with me?
What's wrong
with you?
Sir, at this point, you watch porn. They don't kiss like that.
No, watch some romance movies. There's no excuse for that.
Oh,
we have the internet.
Here I am going right to porn.
No.
Yeah,
you're supposed
no
to be excuse for that.
You're
Do
supposed
not
to cup
ever.
my face. Cup my face.
Oh yeah, the both hands
and just the respectful little.
The both hands on the face.
Dude, I love that shit.
Start light, just like barely brush your lips against hers at first.
Or just do a peck. Like, it don't gotta be that serious. You know what I mean? I want my first kiss to not be.
I'm not even talking about like first kiss. I'm just saying, like, you can kind of barely like brush your lips against the other person's to kind of like tease. No, not like back and forth. No, but you kind of like go in and you just like very lightly graze, and then you can pull back a little bit to like have them.
Dude, that's so hot.
Go forward.
So
yeah, you can do that. Like, there are so many other things. Don't stick your tongue in the person's mouth. The other thing that I've had someone do to me, and it was not good. He put his mouth on mine and then did not move his mouth. So it was just like mouth stuck to mine. And I'm like, trying to get away.
I know, and they're always pushing so hard
and
forward.
He was just like glued to. I got mad and I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Have you ever had a kiss where they're pushing so far forward your nose bends so you can't breathe?
Or your neck is so far back.
So you're like, okay, now I need to figure out how to pull back enough to like mouth breathe because this guy's
I'm
laying
not
on
trying
my
to do a
face.
back bend here.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Being a good kisser is not that hard.
It's not. Just be soft.
Be soft.
Not
you can
too
kind
slobbery.
of tease a little bit if you want to use tongue. Very, very,
feel the
very
vibe.
lightly. Yeah, feel the vibe. Don't start with the tongue.
Let her start tongue.
Do some kisses for a little bit first, and then you can kind of like take your tongue and like graze their lip a little bit and see if they meet you.
I will say, and this is, I feel like no one can argue with this. I feel like a girl, if you're confused, always let the girl initiate the tongue.
Yeah.
There's nobody's going to be like, no, I want the guy to do it first. Like,
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, a guy's always going to like it.
I'm probably not going to initiate tongue very quickly.
No, but if you're wanting that to happen,
yeah,
as a girl, just initiate it because no guy's gonna not like it.
Yeah, that
you know
I mean that's fair. Unless you stick your tongue down his throat, nobody likes.
Yeah, no,
that.
I mean do it normally.
No one likes that.
Like if you
your
want...
tongue should never touch any part that is not their inner lips or inner mouth.
Yeah.
That
what do you think about lip
said.
biting?
I mean,
is that just for sex? Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, that's just for sex.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
I would think
some guy did it to me and we like weren't having sex and I was like, okay, well this is not the time and place.
That's weird.
Yeah, this is not the time and place for that.
I don't know how I'd feel about that. So yeah, if you want to get your girlfriend to kiss you, maybe start off by making sure you've got nice clean breath. Your face is clean.
Floss that bitch. Scrub your tongue.
Make sure your beard isn't that like uncomfortable prickly phase that's going to cause us to get like beard rash, because beard rash is a thing.
That's so a thing. Like, don't let your mustache be overgrown over your lips.
No, where it's like prickly and tickly. Yeah, if you want your girl to like want to kiss you, you gotta like put in the work to be a pleasant surface.
Brush your tongue.
Brush your tongue, mouthwash, a little bit of gum before, Altoid.
Gum's a great touch. Do a little bit of gum, like 3 or 4 times.
Especially if you do dinner.
Yeah, like
a piece of gum. Maybe
two or three
you.
times a night.
Here, honey, you want a piece of gum? Like now we can kiss later and nobody's gross.
Yeah.
How to get my girlfriend to trust me?
Same. Be
Don't
patient.
do some untrustworthy shit.
And be patient with her.
Most girls are going to give you a decent bit of trust, but if they catch you doing some shit, like I feel like guys will typically, it's easier to regain trust with a guy than it is with a girl. Because I feel like so many girls, like, we don't forget that shit.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of cheating and stuff. Because we did talk about, like, the emotional versus just, like, physical.
Well, I mean, I was dating a guy for weeks or months, and we were, like, hanging out at his place, and he was on Instagram, and I happened to glance over while there's, like, a picture of a girl's ass.
I hate that. It's
on
always
Instagram, and he went, doop, doop.
It's always like when you decide to look over, dude. Like,
and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And he was like, I will
leave the room.
He was like, what? That's a friend of mine. I was like, no, there is nothing that you could do or say at this point to make that okay.
Yeah, no, I would leave a room before I looked at a man's phone.
Nope. How to get my girlfriend to forgive me. If you do something minor, apologize, flowers.
Give her space. But if she comes to you, don't ignore her. But, like, give her space.
Oh, God.
I hate that.
Do not
trying to give you space.
Guys, I feel like guys will do this a lot. And I do this sometimes, too. I have to be very careful. If you're apologizing, do not say, I'm sorry, your feelings are hurt.
You know, I was just up in your phone talking about some shit like this. Yeah.
I'm sorry, your feelings are hurt.
I'm sorry if you felt like that was my intention. Like, yeah. I'm sorry that you felt like, no.
You're sorry that you misinterpreted my actions.
No, you're sorry.
You're a sorry piece of shit. That's what you are.
Yeah. You're sorry that you made me feel that way. That's how you need to say that. I'm sorry I made you feel that way.
Yes.
Not I'm sorry that made you feel. Or I'm
sorry you feel that way.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry you feel that way, and I'm sorry my actions made you feel that way. I'm sorry my words made you feel that way. If you're not sorry for the words that you said or the actions, because sometimes you're not, right? Sometimes you do or you say something and you're like, no, I meant it, but I'm sorry that it hurt your feelings.
Yeah. Yep. It's the accountability. Okay. It's the accountability for me.
Take responsibility. Mm-hmm. Apologize. I suck at apologizing. I do. I suck at apologizing.
I'm the first person to be like, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Let's move forward. I love you.
I'm not great about it, but like, I feel like I do a better job of like showing my apologies than saying. But also, I don't necessarily appreciate apologies that much. Like if someone does something, I would rather communicate with you how that made me feel, and you say, okay, I won't do that again. Yeah. And then not do it again.
No, I'm all about, because I want that from you. So if I can make you that comfortable with my apology and saying like, yeah, all accountability, I was wrong. I apologize. Mm-hmm. I know, because you know deep down if it's wrong or not.
But as a guy, I'm sorry with flowers. You can get her coffee. Like I think it's good to bring some sort of a peace offering. Yeah. Whatever her love language is, bring her a peace offering. Especially if you really fuck up. Like, if you really mess up. And I'm not talking about you cheated, because if you cheated and you're trying to bring her flowers, like, oh, honey, I'm sorry.
Yeah, piss off.
I'm going to shoot you and then
cutting them off.
Cover up your body with those flowers. The last one, how to get my girlfriend to stop vaping. Move her to California.
Send her to California. Yeah, what is that, a new current event?
Yeah, that's our current event of the day or the podcast.
The week,
California is banning flavored cigarette products.
E-cigs, right?
Well, they're banning flavored stuff. So
why don't they just say vapes? It's just a vape.
Well, because you can get the unflavored vape, but they're trying to like, huh?
What's the difference?
Well, unflavored is not as appealing to young kids because it doesn't taste or smell good.
If you're gonna ban the whole shit.
Well, I think they're banning it as a way to like make it less appealing for minors and like younger people.
Weird that California's doing that.
Well, like a lot of South American countries, you can't have vapes at all either.
Oh yeah, that's South America though. Like other countries are like, no preservatives, no none of this crap. Yeah, no.
Don't put that in your body.
Can we move to Europe?
So how to get your girlfriend to stop vaping or smoking or doing something that's gross. Communicate that you think it's gross. Be like, hey, that really bothers me.
But don't make it like a personal thing. Just say like, hey, that's really bad for you.
I would just say, hey, it bothers me. I wouldn't date someone that smokes cigarettes. That would be...
Cigarettes or e-cigarettes?
Anything.
That's vaping, right?
Yeah, I don't do that stuff. I have asthma. I don't want to be around that stuff. So I wouldn't. Yeah. I did date a guy who like dipped,
Oh, that's different.
That was disgusting.
That's so different.
That was disgusting.
I did that too for a minute, like one of those yee motherfuckers back home.
Oh, you dated. I was like, you dipped? What the fuck is wrong with you?
No. Never in my life. Never in my life.
No. No, I did date a guy who I didn't even know about it until we were already like dating. And then we were hanging out and he like put in like tobacco and I was like, ew, no, you're not one of those people, are you? So our concession was that he didn't do that around me.
Sure.
Because he was a pilot and he was like, hey, I use it while I'm flying, like it helps keep me awake. All of the excuses. It's disgusting. I didn't like it, but I was like, fine, just don't ever do it around me.
Sure. Yeah, because they can't smoke in there.
No.
Yeah.
No, but he was saying like they can't really, like coffee isn't so much a thing. He's like, we're flying for like 9 hours. It's a stimulant. It helps keep me awake. It helps keep me focused. Like whatever. Just don't do it around me. I think it's gross, but yeah, it is what it is. So now knowing what I know, I just wouldn't date someone that does that kind of stuff. It's nasty.
There you go.
So how to get your girlfriend to stop vaping. First off, don't date a girl that vapes. Second off, tell her you think it's gross. Yeah. It bothers me.
Say, like, hey, California changed their laws, so you should probably not.
Hey, baby, you want to move to California? There's just something about
so unrelated.
California.
It's so
I know
unrelated.
this is completely unrelated, but I really want to move to California. Oh, by the way, you can't vape there.
Yeah, sorry. Like, you all get there. Oh my God, can you imagine? You move there, you get there. She's like, I'm going to go pick up another pod from the store. She gets there, she's like, did you know that they're banned? He's like, oh no.
I had no idea.
I had no idea.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, guess you have to stop. So evil.
So to wrap up this week's episode, we're going to talk about just the tip of the week. Oh yeah,
we got our sex tip of the week now.
Just the tip of the week.
So we talked about how foreplay starts before the bedroom.
Sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about
just the tip.
Just the tip.
Yes. Okay, so
I love that. We're gonna do that every week now.
Dude, I love that. Everyone back home is cringing.
I don't care. Everyone that like talks shit about our singing.
Did we get it every week?
I hope that made your ears bleed.
Oh, anyways, you can't hear this sex tip. That's sad. But so foreplay starts before the bedroom. We already talked about that.
We did.
But we didn't talk about foreplay in the bedroom.
We did not talk about foreplay inside.
And this is kind of like us to the men for the most part, because women, we all know this.
Yeah. Well, and men typically are not that hard to get hard.
Turn on. Yeah.
Get naked.
And we know what we're doing, like, because we know what we want. So we're going to treat you the same way. But men typically don't last as long in the bedroom, or they don't have to. Like, whatever. Depending. Every scenario changes. But I think it's kind of a universally accepted fact that it is harder for women to reach orgasm than men. Because it's all mental. Yeah.
So much of it is mental.
So you need the foreplay before, and if that's just, going down on her.
Well, and on average for females, it takes most women about 30 minutes to reach climax.
On average, yeah.
With a partner.
Mm-hmm. I believe that, yeah.
Dudes, if you last 5 minutes, that means your foreplay needs to last 25 minutes, right? And that's
you gotta make up for that time.
That's not just making out.
Yes, no, that's like going down on her. That's
it's
maybe just feeling her up, making her feel sexy.
Rubber booty, play
Dude,
with her boobs.
Love just like, and maybe it's explicit, I don't know, but I just love when a man's hands just go up my body. You know what I mean? Just like feeling me, because it makes me feel such a woman. You know what I mean? Like he's appreciating how soft I am.
Yeah.
How like my curves, everything. That is my biggest turn on.
Yeah.
I would say, and I just realized that right now.
So I think you find out as a dude what kind of things turn your partner on. Mm-hmm. And sounds.
Yeah. Men? Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
So, well, this is going to be twofold.
Okay.
So for guys, if you're not certain if your girl really likes something, listen. If she's making moans, if she's making satisfied sounds, like most women are not capable of really faking the moans as much. So you kind of listen, like, okay, what are the things that I'm doing? Is that making her moan? Okay, we'll kind of stick there for a minute. I think kind of changing it up a little bit.
Be aware of her.
Yeah. So not all women are different. All bodies, women are different. What gets women off what works for one does not necessarily work for the other.
Yep.
But I know you and I talked about something, and this is definitely going to earn us our explicit tag on Spotify. So for those of you, Mom, if you're watching,
turn this off.
Stop watching.
Yeah.
To my family, now's the time. Cut it off, because you're about to learn some things that you don't want to you can't unhear these things, right? So we're going to give you 5 seconds. Turn it off. Thank you. I love you.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. So we've talked about this, and we've both had a male or males do this to us, and it's awful.
Stop. Yeah. It's awful. Go.
So taking like the entrance of your vagina and rubbing it.
And we're not talking about the top.
No, we're not talking about the clitoris. No. We're talking about the actual entrance to the vagina.
Just the outside.
I don't know about you. I don't have nerves there. There's not really any feeling.
Don't.
And that's uncomfortable.
There's 2 spots on the vagina and in the vagina that women actually get off on. And that's the clit and
dudes,
the G-spot.
If you don't know what the clitoris is, look it up. It is not the entrance of her vagina hole. It's between this and this above it.
Yep.
If you're doing things right, you should be able to tell where it is, because it'll be a little swollen. It'll be noticeable.
Yeah.
It'll be engorged.
Erect.
Engorged? I think engorged is the right word, because it's full of blood.
Engorged.
Engorged.
That sounds so gruesome.
I mean, I think I'm trying to use technical terms here, okay?
Anyway,
so if you're doing things right, but also I think fingering is such an unappreciated or underappreciated thing that I really appreciate. Like I would sometimes rather have that than oral.
So I want both. I can't do just without it. So I can't get off on oral without it. Because I just, it's probably the part of like this both stimulated kind of thing that I need. Because it's very hard to get me off like going down. So, but the one thing I don't like, and I like, I've had different experiences. Like the guy will just like put his fingers in and then move them up like that versus just pounding y'all with his fingers, bro.
No, that is not good.
Hurts.
It should be slow. It should be sensual. It should be controlled.
Yes.
It should be like a massage. It should be soft.
Yeah, maybe once you're in there, just moving your fingers, but don't.
Yeah, you should not
fuck
be like
me with your fingers.
We do not like to get fisted.
No, that hurts. Like if you got nails, dude.
It's another one of those things where I think porn goes wrong. Oh, yeah. Dudes, check your nails. Do not have some nasty, gangly, gross, yucky nails if you're going to be trying to like do some foreplay stuff with your female.
Clip your nails.
Just nasty. Make sure your nails are in good shape.
Please just at least clip them.
And the other thing that bothers me that I've had before are people that are messy.
Like down there?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Oh.
You can be messy down there, not on my face though.
Oh,
like you can't be kissing me sloppy.
I don't want there to be like.
I remember we did talk about that, didn't we?
Drool or slobber. I'm kind of a weird person anyway. Like everyone who knows me knows
it's not weird.
I'm kind of strange, but that's one of those things that like
mine's like what's meant to be sloppy, and it's not my face. Down there is meant to be like, you know, kind of a water park. So like that's okay. Slide. Down there is okay. But
so our just the tip of the week are some foreplay tips for you guys.
Yeah.
Try them out.
Take it home.
Get your partner. Let us know. For any of you,
or don't let us know.
Any of you guys that have tried the tip from last week, has anyone heard of that sex song? I played it for Emma the other day on TikTok.
I've never heard of it.
No,
it's stuck in my head again.
I don't know why. I don't think I would enjoy having sex to that song.
Play that during your foreplay.
But maybe, yeah. I really want dudes, if there are dudes that like legitimately listen to that while having sex, why? I want to know what it is about that song that does it for you.
Because to me, it's just a TikTok trend.
I hope so.
Yeah, that's a trend that's going to go away.
So I think that's going to wrap us up for the week.
Cool. All right, socials. Y'all know the drill. At the Pink Flag Pod on Instagram and TikTok. We're also on YouTube. We're on Podchaser, Spotify, and Audible for free. And check it out.
Thanks.
Is that it?
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Go fuck your partner really good.